FearTheBeard.org. FearTheBeard.org.
FearTheBeard.org.
1974-1975 championship, one of the principal and most important moments of my childhood, made me a Warriors fan for life. One of the principal and most important moments of that championship was you coming off the bench to defend Rick Barry. What exactly was said?
Well, I don't know what was said, but I could see what was going on, and in retrospect, the most important thing in my mind was to keep Rick in the game. We were playing against a team that was favored to win in 4, and they were behind 3 games to none. And I knew from the first tip ball that they were going after Rick. And I felt that if Rick was not in the ball game, and Mike Reardon was not in the ball game, Washington would be up on us for us being up on Washington. So I made up my mind after that tip ball that I was not going to allow anyone to physically take advantage of Rick within the rules of the game. And they went after Rick, and I'm sure the thinking was to get him out of the ball game. So I made sure that Rick stayed in the ball game. I watched the game from the locker room, but the most important thing is that we won the game. So, and Rick was in the game. So, and I understood the frustration on Washington's part. And to this day, I have no malice towards Mike Reardon, and he was only doing what he thought would help that team win the ball game. But I wanted to make sure that Rick stayed in the ball game.
And you did so wearing one of the most spectacular suits ever worn in the NBA Finals. I will post that clip with this interview.
At this point in time, I don't remember what I wore, but I did have a company out of New York that I used to get my clothes from, and I don't really remember what I wore, but what I do remember is we won the basketball game.
Yes,
that was
did.
most important.
So Al, I know you've played with my dad for many years, and I'm curious if you have any stories about my dad that you think that he probably has not told me yet.
I probably don't have enough time to tell all the stories about your dad. He was, you talk about players, and you talk about what makes a player the kind of player that he was. You hear people say, give him a quarter, ask no quarter. Come to play every night, leave everything that you have on the floor. That was your dad. And I remember the first day I saw him, because I was a year ahead of him. And I remember the first day I saw him, we went out on the practice floor. We didn't have the meetings like they have now before, where you meet everyone. And we went out on the floor, and I saw this big guy. And, actually, I saw him the morning before in the bathroom. It was one of the common bathrooms, and he was, brushing his teeth and doing some things upstairs. And I was amazed at his size, his physical size. And everybody said hello and whatever. And of course, we were in Philadelphia, and of course he played at St. Mary's on the West Coast, so we never had an opportunity to see him play. But from the first practice, you knew what kind of player he was. And he didn't ask any quarter, he'd give any quarter. And he and I had some really nice times against some other teams where, of course we can't talk about it now because they probably would still fine us for some of the things that we went through. But no, but he was an outstanding player, and like I said, he came to play, he left everything on the floor, and I really appreciated playing with him.
FearTheBeard.org. FearTheBeard.org.
FearTheBeard.org.